Happy full moon in Leo. Oh my goodness, do I have so much I want to share with you about this full moon. These are the full moons that kind of catch me off guard, that I get really like excited and jazzed up about. I always feel the full moon, but this one I wasn't expecting to be as immense and like paradigm shifting as it is. And we can talk about all the planetary aspects and everything else that's going on cosmically in terms of alignment, but I don't think that's as important as really focusing on the energy and what we're feeling now and what the collective is really reflecting with this energy and how we're meant to work with it and use it and allow it to kind of carry us through over the next handful of days. So when we talk about Leo, we're talking about a fire sign. And this energy is really all about courage and speaking your truth and allowing yourself to be fiery and passionate and expressive and fully authentic. And there's a courage to Leo that allows us to really stand a little taller, be in our confidence, speak our truth, even if it's against the grain. We have Uranus and Aquarius in the picture here. So this is all about service. It's all about when we speak based on a new direction that we want to go or a completely different way of seeing things. We're paving a new pathway, but it's for the collective expansion. It's not because, we're weird and we're defiant and we want to take a different way just because, right? Like we're naturally guided to this. We're pulled to this. We feel alive. And that's my first question for you is kind of like, what feels alive in you right now, right? That's a great question for this full moon. Like what feels alive in you? What feels alive in your loved ones? What feels alive in your field, right? And it's tapping into that feeling of aliveness. There's been an energy that's been transitioning from the end of 2023 all the way through the beginning of 2024. And it's this energy of shifting foundations. We've been seeing a lot of inner child adolescent energy coming forward, either in the form of narratives, emotions, limiting beliefs, patterns, relationships, right? And they're coming up to be seen because they're ready to shift form or to release from your field. So it's almost like they're coming up to say, hey, bye, I'll see you later, right? And we get to realize that this is an opportunity to transform that energy and rewire where we're going. And we're able to speak to this energy and say, I see you and I appreciate you and I appreciate the role that you've played for me. This is where we're going now. And you're shifting the foundation from being anchored in any way, shape, or form into your history and narratives that have unfolded up to this point, and instead anchoring in who you are becoming, and your soul's guidance, your soul's mission that is magnetically pulling you forward, almost like you're throwing this anchor in front of you and allowing that tether to really to pull you forward. And that's the thing, is we often tether in things in the past, things that we know, things that we understand. Rather, we're being asked to tether in our soul's knowing, in the future version of us that we are naturally automatically becoming as we align to our soul. And that's really the formal theme that this moon is really about, which is integrity. Okay, when you really want to look at a theme that weaves its way through this entire moon energy, it's integrity. And that's integrity to your soul. Everybody on this planet could probably come up with a different definition of integrity, but they'd all have a similar flavor if you're following traditional definitions, which are like, well, you're in integrity when you keep your word. You're in integrity when you don't cheat on somebody, when you're honest, right? Like these are the kinds of things that people identify as integrity, but your definition of integrity gets to be your own. And integrity is really about being in integrity to our soul, being honest with ourselves. Where can you be more honest with yourself? If you sat here right now and said, if I were really honest with myself, this would not feel aligned, or this doesn't fully light me up, even though I love this person, or even though I love this experience, or even though I've been attached to it, or I've thought that this was the way, right? If you're being really honest with yourself, where are you feeling drawn? What is feeling like it needs to fall away? What is feeling like it's not part of your future? What is feeling like, yeah, it might be nice and it feels good, but does it help you expand and grow? That's where we are now. This energy of 2024 is so opening. It's so free. It's so light. There's so much expansion coming over this year. I cannot wait. It's amazing energy. I can feel the opening so palpably. And so with this energy opens up so much more possibility, and we need space to be able to receive it, to sharpen our discernment, to be able to see what is for us and what we are no longer available for. And we get to very unapologetically set these parameters for ourselves as we decide that we are in deep devotion to our soul first and foremost, that commitment to our soul comes above and beyond our relationships with our closest loved ones, even our children, even our partners, right? Your relationship with your soul is the fuel and the anchor point for absolutely everything. So I'm going to share a little bit of my journaling here with you. And then I'm going to share a couple of cards that I pulled yesterday. So I was journaling on integrity yesterday, I think last night, when I was connecting with the moon. And I wanted to share this with you because I thought it was really beautiful. And it was like a punch to my energy field when I was like, yes, that's exactly what I've been feeling. It was like putting words to what I've been feeling and haven't fully consciously understood with this energy, right? So I'm just going to read this to you. When I tap into integrity, it makes me feel like I'm being loyal to myself, loyal to my soul, standing taller, walking the walk, being who I present to be. I'm being responsible to myself and others. I'm a role model and example. So as I walk the walk and connect to who I deeply am and my soul's essence and allow that to become embodied more and more and see other people and the lens of my experience through my divinity, I'm in service to myself and others. I'm a role model and example. When I connect to integrity in my life circumstances, I keep my promises to myself before offering to others. This way, they get all of me, right? Like you don't realize how much of a disservice it is to other people to not be integrous to yourself first and to your soul first, because you're entering into a false connection and a false narrative and false promises that are not actually in alignment with where you're going and who you truly know you are deep down inside. And some of these things may not be available to you on the surface right now. This is why our authenticity and understanding who we are continues to unfold. But based on what you know right now, and based on creating space so that you can tune into your body, your soul, and your energy, you get to more closely and intimately identify what feels authentic to you right now. Okay? In this way, you're going to feel more relaxed in relationship. And so are they, because they know what to expect. They know where you stand and they feel all of you. And when you're with them, you're more present because you've fulfilled all of you, right? You've kept your promises to yourself. You've been a reliable caretaker for you. I show up authentically to where I'm in the moment, to where I am in the moment. I show up authentically to where I am in the moment and allow my vulnerability to thrive. Recognizing that as you show up authentically in this moment, it might be different from when you show up authentically tomorrow, because you're going to know yourself better tomorrow than you do today. And it's getting excited about this continuous unfolding and meeting a different version of yourself every day, learning new layers of who you are. So I show up authentically to where I am in the moment and allow my vulnerability to arrive, because it's in my vulnerability. It's in my raw nature of whatever's naturally coming forward. When I allow myself to be in the moment, fully authentic, and whatever's coming forward, I express, I share, I'm with, I allow to be here. That's how people witness me as a role model, witness you as a role model, witness your process. Your process is more valuable than whatever conclusion you come to, because that's what people need to understand is the process, because they don't know how to get there. They're like, oh my God, I love that solution. I want that. I want that vibration. I want that confidence. I want that feeling. I don't know how to get there. Share your process. Let yourself be witnessed in your process. I also wrote, I remember my divinity and how I am best to be of service in this moment or scenario. When we are integrity to the soul, our ego agenda is not there, right? Let's be clear. Everything gets filtered through our minds. We are human beings for the most part. It also gets filtered through the energy field in the body, which is what we want to touch base with more often. But the standard wiring and automation of the human is to go through the mind, right? So it's remembering your divinity and how you're best to be of service in this moment, allowing the energy to flow through you rather than coming from you to be able to share what's on your heart without attaching to the outcome of how people are going to respond or what you're going to get out of it or where that's going to get you. You're just doing it because in the moment, you're always going to choose your divinity as much as possible. And the more you do that, the more automatic it will be. And there won't be choice anymore. It just will be you. My integrity makes me anchored in my own foundation. It makes me feel proud of myself, calm and centered. It makes me feel safe, right? Because I am being a reliable constant for myself. I have made that decision to devote to me, to be an integrity to my soul first and foremost. Integrity helps me release the wounded feminine, reactivity, and any people-pleasing or accommodating. Because when I align with my soul and I make that first and foremost my deepest commitment, I'm naturally going to rise. I'm naturally going to embody leadership. I'm naturally going to embody centeredness, wisdom, and discernment, right? And the last couple things I want to share here are around, before I share these cards, are around these definitions that I looked up. So I did this journaling, and then after I did the journaling, I looked up the definition of integrity, and I was like, oh my God, yes, ties right into the cards that I pulled. Can you tell how excited I am? I told you I have so much to share. Okay, listen to this. The definition of integrity, there's a few. The state of being whole or undivided. Are you kidding me? Being in integrity to our souls brings us back to wholeness, brings us back to undivided, no longer separated from our source, no longer separated from the source and the essence of who we are, because we get distracted on this shiny object world, this overstimulating world, because we get distracted by the human sauce and everything that we're in, right? So this energy right now that we're dealing with this full moon is bringing us back into wholeness, okay? The second definition, the condition of being unified. Do you realize that when you claim this integrity to yourself and your soul, and you allow yourself to express that, and you open yourself to moving into the state of wholeness and riding this energy and being present with what comes forward, staying in the present moment, accessing your authenticity and divinity, you are not just unifying yourself into the whole, you are embodying and expressing and emanating unity consciousness, oneness, collaboration, unconditional love. This is how we expand a more cooperative, loving, connected society and planet. And this last one, actually, there's two more definitions. One of them is internal consistency. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody thinks integrity has to do with like how you interact with other people or how you treat other people. It's about being consistent with yourself. It's about being consistent in your devotion and not wavering from that. What are you deciding? What is alive in you right now? What are you deciding? Anchor in that. Let your vision hold you. Let your soul hold you and guide you. And be consistent about returning to that. One of the mantras that came out of a somatic exercise that I did with Victoria Washington was, I am reliable and constant. And that's what came forward when I wrote this definition out of internal consistency. I am reliable and constant. I am reliable to myself. When I'm reliable to myself, I'll be reliable to everybody else. It's going to be automatic. I don't even have to try. This is how life gets to become easier and feel easier. But we keep getting distracted. Even myself. I mean, we're human beings, right? It's an unfolding. We're practicing this. We're practicing getting closer to this. Okay? And the final definition I want to share with you is very simple: intact. When you're in integrity, intact. I am intact. I am whole. I am everything that I need to be right now. I have everything that I need right now. All the resources I need right now to actualize my highest timeline in this moment. Wild, right? Okay. You can tell I'm just getting fired up with this energy because as I was journaling about this, I'm like, oh my gosh, this just keeps opening. So I pulled these two cards from the Gateway of Light activation by Kyle Gray. And I literally pulled them yesterday I was asking for a vibe and a guide and guidance to come forward for my activating your channeling abilities workshop that's happening on January 28th. You can find the link in the description. It's $60. It's going to be about 2 hours. And it's fucking amazing. I mean, the energy, I just can't even. And the people who have joined are just so intuitive, like beyond it. Like it's just such a powerful group. I can feel the vortex happening, the spiral, which is why I wanted to pull these cards. And it's wild how perfectly in tune they are with exactly what I just shared with you and this energy. So what we got was soul star activation. This is Horus, right? This is Horus. He's an Egyptian god. So he's clearly the spiritual guide for this channeling abilities piece. But it's obviously not a coincidence that I'm pulling this during the full moon, right? And completely speaks to this soul star activation, which is above our crown chakra, connecting us to the divine, opening up the crown, opening up the channel. And look at the Merkaba above his head, right? That's complete unity consciousness. That's us balancing our masculine and feminine. That is our light body, fully embodied. Holy crap, right? And it says fulfilling soul contracts and remembering who you are. Remembering some of your soul contracts may need to be recontracted, may have expired, may be complete. That's okay. You're allowed to grieve as a human and then still remember who you are. You love yourself and your soul more than you love anyone else on this planet. Can you say that you love yourself and your mission more than anyone and anything on this planet? That's detachment. Okay. So the important part about this card is the concept of accessing information and wisdom. This says, like a computer connecting to the internet through broadband. Instead of having to move through the dimensions to access the information, we can remain connected at all times and download support as necessary. This is the energy of channeling. This is the energy of channeling right here. And guess what? It's beautifully balanced by the second card I pulled for this channeling workshop, which is Inner Earth, base chakra, strength and security, laying foundations. What did I just talk about at the beginning of this live? This foundational energy that's shifting starting at the end of 2023 to rewire our foundations for being anchored in old narratives and truly anchoring in who we truly are in our essence, where we're going, where we're being guided. And this comforts the human, allows us to feel safely held while we access this higher dimensional energy and bring through wisdom and codes that is going to blow us wide open into freedom, lightness of being, spaciousness, and unity consciousness. It's absolutely wild how big this energy is, you guys. There is so much momentum here. So this card, this Inner Earth card, is really about becoming fully aware of what you need to feel safe and fulfilled on planet Earth, right? Allowing yourself to be held, but not attaching to it. I'm allowing myself to be held by other humans, say in your relationships, in a workshop, in a coaching container, in a community you're part of, at work, wherever it is, right? Allow yourself to be held where it feels comfortable and safe to do so. Anchoring a foundation inside yourself, right? Know that it's part of the divine plan for you to be incarnated upon this planet right now at this time. Although at times you felt unstable or that you've lost your way, you've been building up momentum to be where you are today. You're in a space now where you can build powerful foundations and lay out exactly what you need, who you need to be, and what you need to do to flourish and grow. You have the opportunity to reclaim parts of yourself that you buried deep within and reclaim gifts that you've abandoned. The seeds you are planting are sending roots deep into Mother Earth. You are held and supported. This is the thing, you guys. It's like everything that's available to you now with this energy, as you allow it to come in and you see it and you own it and you admit and you're honest with yourself and others about where you are and what you want and what no longer feels aligned, you are anchoring roots of that into the physical body, into Mother Earth, accelerating the opportunity for these things that you're envisioning to come into form on the 3D planet, right? They're going to come into form as you allow them to come into your form. Stop ignoring the tugs, the dissonance. This is about feeling into resonance and dissonance. What does resonance feel like in your body? What does dissonance feel like in your body? Right? Feeling into those things, allowing those to be your compass, carrying you forward so that you can root and access high wisdom, so that you feel anchored in this human form and fully bring in the highest level of divine intelligence to come through you in the most unique way, so that we get to taste all these different forms of the divine that are coming through each of us. It's freaking brilliant and so much fun. Okay. I don't think there's anything else I wanted to share with you guys today. I'd say that was probably big enough, right? But one thing I want to say too is that there's been a lot of people who have been feeling tired, very, very, very tired. Fatigue has been a big thing. We are integrating so much. Think about it. Think about it. We are rewiring foundations of who we are, right? This is big energy, you guys. This is like, I am finally deciding and choosing that this is my path and I'm not wavering on it. I'm finally deciding to choose. I want to feel alive. Every day, I want to feel alive. We're anchoring that in as a code for not going backwards, not going back to old narratives, not going back to old paradigms, only forward movement in my soul's direction, right? There is a lot rearranging in your foundations. A lot of people are having GI symptoms or a lot of cramping and heavy periods, discomfort in the lower chakras, the sacral and the root, because of this reorientation of our foundation, anchoring into us, into our soul's essence, being in integrity to that first and foremost. So thank you for receiving this. Let me know how you're feeling below. If you want to jump into the channeling workshop, there's a link in the description. That's going to be held this Sunday, January 28th, 2024, timing of this video. We are still going to be in this full moon energy during that experience, and I cannot wait. The level of rocket ships that we are going to get in is, I cannot wait to see it. And if you want to meet one-on-one, you can grab a soul activation call if you haven't met with me before. That's a way to just get in, meet me, start to talk about, okay, where am I in my journey? What are my next steps? What is my soul communicating? I want my soul to be activated, my unique blueprint to be activated through this human form. Okay? Happy full moon. I love you. Move your body. Open your mouth and allow yourself to chant, sing, dance along with it. Speak your truth, share your passions. And if you don't have any space to do that, put it in the comments here. All right? I love you. Have a good day. Bye.